guys, welcome back to my channel. At Call Me Gigi. Okay, so today's vlog is gonna be a little bit different. Okay, so I had to make a research and I had to make a discovery about the silent twins. Okay, there are two girls, Jennifer and June Gibbons, who refuse to talk to any other person except themselves. Okay, one had to die for the other one to be set free. It's really strange though. Maybe you guys really need to watch this. So please, if you're new to my YouTube channel, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Okay, so sit back and watch. Let's take this video to the permanent side. If you're already part of the Gigi's family, find a seat and sit down, grab a popcorn, take some juice, anything to just keep you on the go. Let's take this video to the permanent side. Bye.
Jennifer and June Gibbons were identical twins who grew up in Wales. They became known as the Silent Twins since they only communicated with each other. They began writing works of fiction but later turned to crime. Both women were admitted to Broadmoor Hospital where they were held for 11 years. "Nobody suffers the way I do," June Gibbons wrote in her diary. "Not with a sister. With a husband, yes. With a wife, yes. With a child, yes. But this sister of mine, a dark shadow robbing me of sunlight, is my one and only torment as the youngest of 5 children of Aubrey Gibbons, a West Indian technician for the British Royal Air Force, and his wife, Gloria." The girls communicated only with each other in anxious, staccato bursts of a made-up English dialect. They flatly refused to speak to their parents and others who sought to enter their closed lives. Most twins are able to differentiate, to become individuals while still maintaining the unique closeness of the twin bond. Many twins share private languages, but the Gibbons twins never outgrew theirs. "It was more comfortable just nodding heads," wrote June. "Words seemed too much. If we were suddenly to talk, it would be too much of a surprise." As they passed through childhood, their family was usually on the move, causing the twins to rely on each other even more. In schools they were taunted because of their color as well as their silence. Confused teachers threw up their hands. They told the parents that the twins would outgrow their odd behavior, but they never did. By the time they were 11 years old, they refused to sit in the same room with or speak to their parents and siblings. If they wished to watch a certain TV show, they would leave a note for their parents, asking that the door to the TV room be left open. Then they would sit on the stairs, watching the show through the doorway. If an older brother or sister came in, they'd scurry back upstairs. In public, the twins acted like zombies, like automatons. They even moved in perfect synchrony and would goose step silently through town. If they felt threatened, they froze in catatonia, making their bodies stiff as boards. They were so attuned to each other that if they went horseback riding and one fell off, the other immediately would fall off, too. After the family settled near an air base in the dreary little Welsh town of Haverfordwest, the girls locked themselves away in their bunk bedroom and grew obsessed with the idea of becoming famous novelists. They gushed millions of words into diaries, poems, stories, novels, and Bronte-like ultra-miniature books that could only be deciphered with a magnifying glass. When publishers rejected their work, they started to commit crimes. They began writing works of fiction but later turned to crime. Both women were admitted to Broadmoor Hospital where they were held for 11 years. In 1981, the girls committed a number of crimes including vandalism, petty theft, and arson, which led to their being admitted to Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security mental health hospital. The twins were sentenced to indefinite detention under the Mental Health Act 1983. In October 24, 1981, 18-year-old twins June and Jennifer Gibbons watched as the tractor shop in their little Welsh town burned. They stared at the glowing building, as flames licked their way through the roof and thick smoke billowed into the night sky. Later that evening, June opened her diary and began to write. "I burned it down today, with the help of Jennifer, of course. The greatest moment of my life. We opened all the cans of petrol and spread it everywhere. Can you believe that I'm the arsonist of Haverfordwest? My lovely glorious fire, a picture which will live in my mind forever. Oh, what a sinful, evil, selfish mind. I know the Lord will forgive me. It's been a long, painful, hard year. Don't I deserve to express my distress? The blaze wasn't the only one the pair had started in their tiny, grey market town. There were 4 in all, along with a string of vandalism, break-and-enters, and thefts. Police caught up to them at one point, but they were silent during their interview just as they'd been for most of their lives. When Jennifer and June were ultimately arrested while attempting to burn down a local technical college. The teens' 5-week crime spree caught the attention of British journalists, in particular, Marjorie Wallace of the Sunday Times, who gradually unraveled their story. A tale of tormented sisters, so tired of being misunderstood they'd chosen not to speak at all, a choice that saw them bullied, analyzed, institutionalized. But it was their relationship that fascinated Wallace most. Having trapped themselves in their silent world, Jennifer and June were desperately dependent on each other and saw themselves almost as one entity. You are Jennifer. You are me, Jennifer would say to her sister, according to Wallace's book, The Silent Twins. But the only thing that seemed to torment them more than the fear of being apart was staying together. As Jennifer wrote in her diary, I say to myself, can I get rid of my own shadow? Impossible or not possible. Without my shadow, would I die? Without my shadow, would I gain life, be free or left to die? She never found the answers to those questions. But June did. At their trial for burglary, arson, and theft in May 1982, both Jennifer and June pleaded guilty. Having been diagnosed with psychopathic personality disorder, a ruling which has been disputed by their school psychologists and Marjorie Wallace, they were sentenced to indefinite detention at Broadmoor, Britain's most secure psychiatric facility. At 19, they were its youngest ever inmates. We wanted to get away from our life, June told The New Yorker. We thought Broadmoor was going to be like paradise. Instead, they found themselves sharing walls with cold-blooded killers. They were given antipsychotic medication and routinely tranquilized. They spoke, but year after year they were deemed to have not made enough progress to be released. On the bus to their new facility, Jennifer, who had been feeling lethargic and unwell, lay her head on her sister's shoulder. As the gates closed behind them, she said, at last, we're out of Broadmoor. There, leaning on her sister, her shadow, Jennifer slipped into a coma. She was pronounced dead that evening due to undiagnosed acute myocarditis, a rare disorder that causes inflammation of the heart. It's rarely fatal. June was released on parole the following year. Though hysterical with grief at first, she told Inside Story that she found strength in surviving it, in learning to live for her sister, in finding her own voice. But, she said, Jennifer is still with her. She'll always be. She might be not here anymore, but I was born a twin and I'll die a twin, she said. That's the way it goes.
Wow, we're back. Damn! This story is actually captivating and it's also sad at the same time. It's a tragedy though that these twins could not really come out of their silence. Okay, I really learned a lot. I don't know about you. Please feel free to leave a comment for me if you learned a lot. Okay, if you want to know more about their story, you could browse them out on Google, search for them, the Silent Twins, Jennifer and June Gibbons. Okay, to actually get a broader knowledge about these 2 girls. Okay, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, okay, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends to tell your friends. Gigi loves you. Join the Gigi's family. What other thing do I have to say? Okay, I love you and stay safe. Bye.